Alrighty, the 9th anniversary is sort of on its cooldown phase here, so I figured, assuming now that we have the maximum thank you present from the devs here, I believe we have finally kind of reached the end of it here, assuming they don't do anything else extra. So in this video, I want to recap the 9th anniversary, all the things that I liked about it, everything that we got, and kind of give Omatsu and the team, the Omatsu is kind of a stretch, but like, you know, the Dokkan team, the props that they deserve for a very well-handled 9th anniversary with plenty of surprises in between. So let's start off with the characters that they gave us, starting off with Physical Gogeta. Physical Gogeta being the Part 1 LR. I'm sure a lot of people were excited to summon for this character. I don't love the fact that he was on a carnival banner. I just am not a fan of non-Dokkan Festival exclusive banners in this game. It's unfortunate that they exist, but it is just the way that the things work. And thankfully with these carnival banners, there is a little bit of incentive to them, as they do have their own exclusive LRs that you can only pull on those banners compared to legendary summon banners where, you know, it really is just kind of a free-for-all. So that is a nice little upgrade. But this guy brought to the table a Movie Heroes pure 200% lead, which is very good because the Movie Heroes team is very good. We're not going to go over the passive and all those fun things, but what this guy did bring was Gogeta Blue into the game as an LR again, and he also brought in the taunt mechanic. So the taunt mechanic, very, very powerful ability that essentially gives you a 0 damage turn as long as the enemy isn't disabling dodge. The next unit they brought out was Broly. Now, with Broly, I'm sure you guys know at this point, this is a very, very good unit. With Broly, a lot of damage, a lot of attacks, decent leader skill, access to a lot of good characters in the game. But the issue with him is kind of the team that he brings is a bit of a clash for domains, right? It's literally Jujutsu Kaisen, where they all have domains and they want to use them, but you really are only going to go with the most powerful one in a situation that you would need them, right? So, but obviously, full power Broly, really cool. Does a lot of damage. This is a super exciting unit, and a lot of people have been waiting for this version of Broly in the game, especially as an LR, so we cannot be mad about that. Part 1, if you want to rate it on a terms of the hype scale, definitely up there. I would give it like a 8 and 8.75, right? I think that's, not, you know what? No, I'm going to go 9. I think this is a 9 out of 10 in terms of hype. I think if Gogeta was a Dokkan Festival LR, you could push it up a little bit, but the fact that the more sought-after unit was the Carnival LR, unfortunately, does bring it down a little bit for me, but in terms of choice, it's 10 out of 10. So, there you have it. The banner unit, the Golden Frieza that was brought alongside Broly, I'm not going to pull him up, but he was very good as well, and really kind of helped with this anniversary because that was a very good unit for Super Bosses. But let's move on. The best character in the game. The beauty of this being on global is we had hindsight, or, you know, we have foresight, and we knew he was coming. This was the best unit in the game, still is the best unit in the game as of when I'm recording this, and really just kind of delivered, right? We wanted a standalone Beast Gohan after the physical Gohan incident, and they sure as hell delivered when they gave us the standalone Beast Gohan. So, not much to talk about. This is the top of the mountain, the best unit in the game, the best unit the game has ever made, and just overall a very good release. Has the taunt mechanic as well. But moving on, we have the Gammas. Now, the Gammas, a Superheroes 200% lead sounds great in theory, and it is. However, most of the time, you're not going to be running 2 of this character, as what you will do is if you're running pure Superheroes, you set this guy as your lead, and then you run a friend Beast as a friend lead, just because you are going to be able to get, you want to have 2 Beast Gohans on the team if you can, right? Or on the battlefield when you can. So you would just run this guy in your own leader slot. But all in all, I think in the art department, this is really where this character shines out the most to me. I love this sequence right here for an art. In terms of the standby and stuff like that, very good. A character that is orb dependent, but all in all, a very, very good character, right? So in terms of hype, and like this for me was like crazy. If part 1 was a 9, I'm going to give this... just on the quality of Beast Gohan's kit alone, I'm going to move this one up to a 9.5. A 10 out of 10 is very tough for me, right? You have to have everything. And Beast Gohan, I think the only thing about Beast Gohan that we can really say that I don't like about him is his animations are not the best. His intro is really good. I like his taunt. But the super attack animations are just okay. They're good, but just okay. Moving on. This isn't technically part of the anniversary, but it might as well be part of the anniversary for global, and that is really why I'm making this video. Ultra Instinct Goku. They just tossed him in during this campaign, so technically he released during the anniversary. I'm going to count him as part of the anniversary. A 3rd Dokkan Fest LR. This is something that Dokkan has like really never done before. Not that I can remember. 3 Dokkan Fest LRs in a month. Like, that's unheard of. Just crazy, crazy stuff that Dokkan is up to, right? So UI Goku really kind of is the epitome of like players who were trying to save for worldwide with what little stones they had left, just getting the big middle finger and saying, no, you're going to keep summoning. But this UI Goku, extremely hype. This is probably my favorite character in the game. So in terms of like location and stuff like that, I can't give this a 10 out of 10 for a release. But him being added to the anniversary makes this anniversary just like the greatest of all time. Just a third Dokkan Fest LR that's more hype to some people than any of the other LRs on the list so far. Very, very good addition. I think that this character really kind of ties things all together. It brings the Universal Survival Saga team up to a whole new level, and we'll be talking more about that in a little bit. But just looking at the LR lineup, 5 new LRs, all very good, all super hype releases, characters that we've been wanting for a long time. Let's move on from the major summonable characters and move on over to the EZAs. Okay, so right off the bat, we had EZA Ultra Instinct Sign Goku. Little did we know, as he would be hard replaced as the Ultra Instinct Sign Goku during this anniversary. Things that you usually don't expect to happen, but it did happen. So this character comes out, he was just okay, part of the countdown celebration. Could have been better for sure, but at least the other Ultra Instinct Goku we'll be talking about later is very good. The Broly Trio, very good for the Super Bosses team. Very reliable character, so long as you can get the orbs for them, they can just park in slot 1, get their guaranteed dodges, and just chill out, right? The Big Bad Bosses unit himself, Lemo, getting the love that he deserves, because this character right here, she doesn't have Big Bad Bosses in her unit. These Brolys don't get Big Bad Bosses, but guess what? Lemo, he's the reason they have Big Bad Bosses, right? You can see it right here, Big Bad Bosses. So, very good character, runs super well on a team that is just one LR cell max away from being very top of the line. So this Broly Trio, very good unit. Let's move on. The Evo Ken, the Evolution Blue Vegeta, and Kaioken Blue Goku EZA. This guy was sort of the prototype for the modern LR EZA that we are seeing now, where you are just like, what the hell is this? Is this a new summonable LR? Like, everything that this character is doing with the amount of attack they're doing, with the defense that they could potentially get, the attack debuffing that they're doing to enemies, this character really does have a little bit of everything, especially with UI Goku around for dodge support. This is going to be an extremely reliable character that won't take a super type disadvantage to the face, but can potentially debuff the enemy and make that super hit a little bit less. Like in the case of Cell Max, if you can get to the point where you can lower this guy's defense, you can lower his attack, this is going to be a phenomenal character that, despite being type disadvantage, works very well. So solid EZA, and again, kind of set the mold for what we were to expect going forward. We'll talk about these guys really quickly, because you guys know these are literally like 2 top 5 units in the game. Evolution Blue Vegeta and UI Goku, both massive glow ups, literally like back to their release standard in terms of where they are in terms of the meta. This character was number 1 when he came out, this character was number 2 when he came out, and then for EZAs, you could argue this guy was 2, this guy was 3. Just depends on how you look at things. I think that over time, UI Goku is going to be viewed as better than Evolution Blue Vegeta, especially considering just how important turn 1 is nowadays in these hard fights. UI Goku just cannot be touched turn 1. He's ripping off an 19 million attack stat, doing 2 to 3 supers, all guaranteed crits if you are at 24 key. The damage he's there, his revival condition's easier to get now, go figure. It's just overall, I think this character is set to age better, but I think right now this character is a little bit better. So 2 phenomenal EZAs. Seldom do we see 2 EZAs like this and not have like a black sheep in terms of being disappointing, and that is not the case with these guys. But we got a bit of a bonus. With the UI Goku Dokkan Fest being released, we saw 3 new EZAs, ones that are on JP right now. So the EZA of Jiren, just to kind of quickly sum up this guy, we are waiting for AGL Jiren to release whenever that is. I'm not sure yet, but that is going to be the timeline for him. Very solid character, but again, waiting for his counterpart. 17 in Golden Frieza. This is a top 10 unit in the game now after their EZA. Long story short, anywhere from 50 to 85%, 51 to 85% damage reduction every turn after supering. So slot 2 and slot 3, these are literally like one of the best characters in the game for slot 2 and slot 3. Fit on any team that you can run them on, they'll fit in just fine. And last but not least for EZAs, we have 17 and Universe 7. I'm not going to get into the TUR EZAs as Dokkan didn't really do anything major. Paragus and Broly are okay, and Bardock and Guinea are also okay. But 17 in Universe 7, very, very good character. Very good support, high attack stats, high defensive stats, good utility with the support, like I said. Unfortunately, just locked into the Universe 17. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, but that is their role. Like, that's what they were intended to do, so I'm not too upset about it, but if we want to talk about a quote-unquote drawback, that would be it. So, all the easy A's. In terms of easy A's, like, Dokkan, like, if you just want to talk about the amount of stones, so, right, like, 30 here, 60, 90, 180, 120, 150, 180, 210, 240, right, just from easy A's alone. Excuse me on the math on that, but, like, just 4 really good easy A's. Like, this easy A being the worst of the batch, that's a really impressive job from the developers. That usually does not happen. So, easy A's, very good. Let's move into the free-to-play stuff they gave us. Okay, don't want to talk too much here. I know you guys don't care that much, but LR Beerus, very good character, fits nicely on the little Super Bosses team, has a taunt, all that fun stuff. Okay character, right? Free to play, can look impressive, that's really all you can ask. Is he the best unit in the game? No. Is he very good? Yes. Frieza sucks, but you need to get him done because we will be talking about why in a little bit, but these are characters that you need to farm up in order to get extra rewards that are going to be helpful. So when it comes to events, we can kind of just break this one down without cutting. When we look at this one here, like I said, we can kind of just go over this, right? We had the introduction of the blue zone, wherever that may be. Sometimes these things, they just like to hide, right? The blue zone right here, this stage of the blue zone, which gave us, what was it, 8 new fights? And then this stage of the blue zone, which in total is going to give us 5. So that's 13 new difficult fights that are just in these 2 events alone. We go up to the Memorial Battle. This gave us 4 different hard fights as well. That potentially hard fights depending on the team you're using, right? You could just say, oh, I use superheroes. Well, yeah, duh. But, you know, 4 difficult fights here against the movie characters from the anniversary. Very fun stuff. We had 2 new stages from the Red Zone movie bosses with Beerus and Golden Frieza. We had some additions to this Conquer the Assassin's Territory event. We had this Dokkan Ultimate Thrilling Battle. I believe we had some additions to intensifying fights as well. Movies Boss Rush got an update for Red Zone Movie Boss Rush. Fun stuff, but nothing too crazy. And then we got an additional stage added to the 9th anniversary battle, which was for the 9th anniversary, obviously. And then an additional add-on to the Cell Max fight, which was stage 2. So in terms of difficult events, we got all kinds of good stuff. A bunch of new different difficult events to test out our characters in and really put these LRs to the limits at some points, right? I know that sometimes you're gonna be like, oh, the superheroes team made it easy, but some of these fights can still catch you. So keep that in mind. But if we go over to the story events tab, I'm gonna try and get, like I said, try and get all of this in one run here. A lot of question marks. Hopefully that's not the case for down here. We have the Struggle for Survival on Planet Vampa. This gave us movie bosses equips instead of super bosses, which sucks. That is like, if there's not many things in this this event or this campaign that were global shafts, but this was one of them. And then there's another one that has superheroes equips. It's just movie heroes instead of superheroes. So that was a shaft. I believe it's this pan event right here. And then we also had the link leveling event for superheroes and super bosses. We have this event, which is going to be giving you stones from missions. And then, like I said, up here, we have a heroes equips, or movie heroes equips from this pan event. All good stuff, right? Free links, free equips, stuff that we really can't be upset about, skill orbs, excuse me. And it's really going to add up over time when you're doing all of that. And if we go over to the story event, we are going to have the event like the pan event that gave us water bottles. Those water bottles are very valuable. So it's like right here, this was the Beerus stage that gave us the free-to-play stuff for Beerus. And this was the Frieza one. And then if I can find the pan event, you guys know what I'm talking about, though. It was a story event that you grind up every day, or you could just grind up in a limited amount of times, get water bottles, and in turn with those water bottles, you're going to be getting stones, you're going to be getting in skill orbs for characters like Ultimate Gohans, Gammas, stuff like that. So very helpful stuff. I don't know why it's not on this tab in specific, but just trust me on this one. There is an event that you can grind that's going to give you, you know, those water bottles that you can grind. So those story events, all doing a lot of good stuff. But what else do we have to talk about? We have to talk about the incentives that Global got. And this is not going to be like a JP elitism section here. We're just going to talk about it, right? So what did Global get on their banners? Now, with UI Goku, I guess we'll start with him because he's the most recent. This one, you got 3 rounds of discounts. So in total, I believe it was 330 stones. You got 9 multis, very good value with a free one in between. So in total, 12 multis for 330 stones. That is really good considering on a normal banner, that's 600 stones. So it's almost cut in half. Very good stuff. Not the best, obviously, not as good as the other parts, but at least worth noting. Now, with the Beast Gohan and the Gamma banners, I know these are the tickets, so we'll keep moving past them. But with the Beast Gohan and the Gamma banners, we got 3+1s, and then we also got tickets on those. So very good stuff, right? Like, you guys have to understand how valuable a 3+1 with tickets is, right? Just for an example, right? Let's just say we do 4 multis, right? So 200 stones. We get 12 tickets and a free multi. So in total, that's 5 multis just from stones alone, and then 1 extra multi with tickets. So 6 multis for the price of 200 stones, and you're going to be able to do that over the process, right? On my global account, I literally summoned on the Beast Gohan banner. I think we got Beast Gohan in like 100 stones or something like that. But then I went like a good like 1.7 or 1.8 thousand without a copy. And then we went to tickets, because I had a lot of tickets saved up, I think 120 just from the summons that I was doing. And we literally pulled 3 copies of Beast on those tickets. So like those tickets, they brought hella value, like so much. Like, you guys have to understand, like, especially as a guy who primarily plays JP, how nice it was to have those tickets, because it saved me so many stones. Like, could you imagine how many more stones I would have potentially had to use if I wanted to Rainbow Beast? I know this is kind of like a first world problem, but if I wanted to pull more dupes of this character, who knows how much it would have taken for stones, considering what I got on tickets. So with that and the Gamma's banner, this just added so much more value and so many more incentives in order for you to sort of obtain the characters that you wanted. It gives you a better chance, and that is always nice, right? That's what's so good about Global, especially if you can save up your stones and stack them with all of this value. You're going to be able to get a lot more out of your stones with these incentives. So moving on to the Part 1 banners, these were actually huge, the way that they formatted these, right? We had the new step up format where we had discounted multis on steps 1 to 3, and then the 4th step was free. And then 5, 6, and 7, they were all different steps, but were discounted as well. But the last step was 50 stones, and this guaranteed you a featured character. So if we pull up this banner in specific, on step 7, you had instead of it being like whatever the chances are on a normal banner, you had a 1 in 10 chance of pulling Broly, just split across the featured numbers, right? That's just how this stuff goes. That featured step is so crazy, especially that it's unlimited. Like, an unlimited amount of featured unit steps is like something that we really haven't seen before, right? Because like we see like with these banners right here, like if we go back over to page 1, right? When we see banners like this, like guaranteed featured for 3 steps is normal. Imagine if this was like, this was unlimited. It wasn't just discounted, right? You could just get a guaranteed featured every single multi, like a Heroes banner. You know how dumb that would be? You know how many people would have these 2 characters just like rainbowed and like 500 stones or something like that? It'd be stupid, right? So just keep that in mind. Something that's very nice with these Part 1 banners. Again, something that we hadn't seen, and I know players were very disappointed when that format didn't go to Part 1 or Part 2. And it literally, like, I'm not even kidding. There were tweets saying people thought that this was as bad as Global lowering the rates behind the scenes on the 1st anniversary. Like, we were in delusion, la la land. When is Twitter not? But I literally saw like a tweet saying that. And then, just on top of it, another global perk for the 9th anniversary, we're talking about global here, the special friend summon. This is huge too, because this is going to be a way for you to just grind the game and get a ton of Kais with your friend points, which is going to be super helpful, because Kais are not something that you can just farm whenever you want. So there you go, right? A lot of stuff, a lot of incentives, a lot of perks, a lot of bonuses. That really just kind of made this global anniversary really different, you know? It's a big testament to how the game has evolved over the years, where this, like, we knew this was going to be the best celebration in the game's history, and they found a way to top it and go above and beyond the expectation, where perks on these banners were just unreal. Like, you have to understand how good perks are, right? And then, to add everything together and to kind of close this video out, we also got a 50 ticket multi that gave us 77 units, and then the guaranteed 7 SSRs, right? Very good value. I'm sure a lot of people pulled their copies of Beast, their copy of Broly, Gogeta, or the Gammas on those ticket multis. That was statistically your best chance to obtain that character, and considering they gave that out for free and it wasn't like a $40 ticket, it's just very generous of the devs. And considering like everything that they got with the free tickets they give out for like logging in, with all the characters that came out, with the extra banners, the extra Dokkan Festival LR, which is super hype for a lot of people, I think that the 9th anniversary really is kind of you know, the golden standard for how Dokkan big celebration should be, right? Do I think they should do 3 Dokkan Fest LRs in the future? No, but I do understand that this was a kind of like cram it in because of the sync, right? So moving forward, and like my last closing note before we get out of here, this really just has me super optimistic and excited for the 10th anniversary. I think that the 10th anniversary has a lot of potential to really kind of change the game, and especially considering it's going to be synced. The hype is going to be at an all-time high. There's never going to be this many players. There's never been this amount of players experiencing the anniversary at the same time. Usually, it's a lot of people coming to global for the or for JP for the anniversary. They usually play global. This time, they're going to be able to do it on their main account, and it's going to be super exciting. So there you guys go. A recap of the 9th anniversary, why it was the best celebration of all time, all the different things that we got, and just kind of a quick review of all of the units. So I hope you guys appreciated this one and you enjoyed watching it. If you did, do not forget to leave a like before you go for the content, and also subscribe if you are new so you don't miss out on any of my Dokkan content. Thank you guys for your time, and I'll see you all in the next one.